The 2025 Melbourne Grand Prix was a nightmare for Ferrari and a showcase of strength for McLaren. While the Woking-based team humiliated the competition with a dominant performance, Ferrari made mistake after mistake, delivering an embarrassing spectacle for fans. Ferrari's weekend was a disaster from the start. The SF25 lacked pace in both dry and wet conditions, but the real masterpiece of incompetence came in the pit lane. When the rain arrived, every team switched to intermediate tires, except Ferrari. They chose to stay out on slicks, destroying any chance of a comeback. Then, realizing their mistake, they called in both drivers. But by then, the race was already lost. Leclerc, visibly frustrated, tried to defend the team in interviews, but the mistake was obvious to everyone. And Hamilton? In his first season in red, he already showed signs of frustration, complaining over the radio about an incomprehensible strategy. If Ferrari suffered, McLaren celebrated. Norris and Piastri dominated the race with an incredible pace, leaving their rivals over a second and a half per lap behind. Norris managed the race perfectly, while Piastri, despite having the chance to attack, was given a clear team order: hold position. The message from McLaren was clear: Norris is their number one driver. Between McLaren's dominance and Ferrari's disaster, Mercedes delivered a solid performance. George Russell secured a well-deserved podium, while Hamilton, despite Ferrari's poor strategy, showed he still has the talent to bring in points. Mercedes, though not yet dominant, continues to maximize every opportunity. Even with a less dominant Red Bull, Max Verstappen managed to fight McLaren for most of the race. With aggressive yet flawless driving, he squeezed every bit of performance from his car, once again proving why he is the most complete driver on the grid. If anyone can stop McLaren's dominance, it's him. One of Melbourne's biggest surprises was Kimi Antonelli. In his first ever Formula One race, the young Italian talent stunned everyone with a solid, mistake-free performance. While other rookies crashed out, Antonelli showed maturity and speed, pulling off aggressive yet clean overtakes. Without the penalty, he would have finished fourth, an incredible result for a debutant. But the most humiliating stat for Ferrari is the Constructors' Championship standings after Melbourne. McLaren leads with 27 points. Mercedes follows with 25. Red Bull sits in third with 18. And Ferrari? Seventh with just 5 points, their worst start since 2009. This result confirms the huge gap between Maranello and the top teams. The big question is Ferrari still a top team, or just a mid-tier squad living off past glory? In Melbourne, every decision from the pit wall was wrong. The race pace was embarrassing, and their mismanagement of the rain exposed all the team's strategic weaknesses. Without major updates, the 2025 season could turn into a long and painful ordeal. Ferrari will have the chance to respond in China, but the gap to McLaren seems insurmountable. The real question now is, how much longer before even the most loyal fans lose patience?